Tom Murphy here, professional mixed martial arts fighter. First, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, sure, Jackie. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
You know, I've been in Vermont for about 14 years, 4 kids, live in St. Albans, work for a wonderful company called Rail America. Also own a restaurant in St. Albans, own a gym.
Okay.
But more importantly, I've spent about the last year and a half, 2 years of my life, it feels like, working on some very important work in anti-bullying.
Okay. Now, you're a professional MMA fighter, so some people might think it's ironic that, you're a fighter and you're also, enforcing anti-bullying campaigns or supporting anti-bullying campaigns. So what might you say to that?
I would say let's first correct what you said.
Okay.
I'm not a fighter, I'm a competitor.
Okay.
When we do our presentations for kids, we have this highlight video that's exciting and loud music and knockouts and things like that of me competing professionally. Right. When I come out on the stage, the first thing I tell kids is how much I hate fighting and how much it really breaks my heart, and I detest when kids get into fights and hurt each other. Fighting is to use violent physical means. I'm a competitor. I'm just like a basketball player, a tennis player, and so it's not ironic, it's really our hook.
Well put. You put me in my place, that's for sure, Tom. All right, so also tell me a little bit. You travel around Vermont, you travel around New York. I know you said you do most of your work in New York with these anti-bullying campaigns. And one of the things you said, you show video of yourself fighting before you talk to kids. Can you take us through one of your seminars or what you're teaching kids as you visit?
Yeah, when we do the presentations, I spend about 5 minutes on mixed martial arts in a full hour.
Okay.
It's a high energy presentation. And the most important thing is we give kids solutions. 96% of the time bullies get away with it. And when I go into schools, I take a piece of paper and I go up to any child and I say, listen, if I gave you this piece of paper and it was anonymous, could you write down 5 kids who are bullied in your school? There's not a kid that has never said yes. And then I say, okay, flip it over and write down 2 or 3 kids who you think are bullies. They all can do it. They all shake their head. But 96% of the time, bullies get away with that. Wow. How is that possible? How do we let that happen in our school systems? You can't even hardly explain it. So, we're about educating, we're about giving solutions, because teachers are great, they're wonderful, they teach, but they're not anti-bullying experts, they're not bullying experts. And that's what we do, we give solutions to kids, and not so much the victims, and people say, well, what do you mean? And not so much the bullies. We're talking mostly to bystanders, because 85% of the time, bullying happens in front of other people. And those are the kids that have the chance to do something about it. Great.
And you said teachers aren't the experts. Why do you think that you're a good expert?
I have 4 kids.
Sure.
But I've spent about 2.5 years now researching. I've listened to people like John Halligan and Tina Meyer, and I've gone through all the research. We're certified presenters for the Dignity for All Students Act in New York State, which goes into effect in July. I'm just educated, and my partner's educated. He's a teacher, spent 15 years in the public school system. So I don't know if I'm quite an expert, but
you have experience.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, we're going to be talking to Tom again at 7 o'clock on our sister station, Fox 44. Very interesting. We'll delve a little bit more into the campaign and what you're doing. So stick around for that. In the meantime, we'll be right back after the break.
Thanks, Jack.
ABC 22 This Morning is your voice.